All right, today we're jumping into what a lot of people are calling the big tech shift of 2026, agentic AI. And just to be clear, we're not talking about your everyday chatbot that just answers a question. No, these are autonomous systems that are built to actually do things for you.
Okay, I love this analogy because it just nails it. Think about it. A calculator. It's a tool. You give it a command, it gives you an answer. Simple. But an employee, well, an employee understands a goal, figures out a plan, and then uses a bunch of different tools to get it done. That is the massive leap we're seeing with agentic AI.
So, what's the actual change here? What makes an AI agentic? Well, the bottom line is this: it's the jump from being reactive, like a chatbot, to being proactive. An agent isn't just sitting there waiting for your next question. It's actively pursuing a goal, step by step, all by itself. And this is where it gets really interesting, because this breaks down how an agent actually thinks. First, there's planning. It takes a big, complicated goal and chops it up into smaller, manageable steps. Then it comes tool use, and this is key. It can actually connect to the real world. It can use a browser, check your calendar, pull from a database, whatever it needs to take action. And finally, reflection. It looks at what happened, learns from it, and if it messed up, it tries again. It's this constant cycle. Do, learn, improve. Okay, so look, this isn't some far-off theory. This is happening right now, and businesses are adopting this at a, frankly, incredible speed. We're already seeing it in places like customer service and finance, but this is going to ripple out and touch pretty much every industry. Let's dig into the numbers, because they really tell the story of why you absolutely cannot ignore this. Okay, check this out. According to Gartner, by the end of 2026, a staggering 40% of all enterprise applications are going to have AI agents built right in. So we're not talking about some niche specialist tool. We're talking about the core software that businesses run on every single day. And this number right here, this is the why. This is why it's moving so fast. The companies that got in early are already seeing an average return on their investment of 171%. I mean, when a new tech delivers that kind of value, it doesn't stay on the fringes for long. The money part of the equation is it's too big to ignore. So let's put that together. You've got this insane ROI fueling incredible speed. And the key thing to wrap your head around is just how fast this is all happening. We're going from less than 5% adoption in 2025 to a predicted 40% by the end of 2026. That is an 8-fold jump in one single year. This isn't a slow burn, folks. This is a full-on explosion. All right, so numbers are one thing, but what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's get concrete and look at a case study that shows how this tech is already making a huge difference in people's day-to-day work, specifically in a really demanding field like healthcare. So the problem at Atlanticare was something that, honestly, a lot of professionals face. They're doctors, they're nurses. They were just buried in administrative paperwork. A huge chunk of their day was spent on documentation instead of, actually being with their patients. So what they did was they brought in an agentic AI assistant. Now, its job wasn't to play doctor or diagnose anyone, not at all. It had one very specific, very time-consuming task: listen to the conversations between the doctor and the patient and automatically create the clinical notes. This freed up the actual humans to just focus on the person right in front of them. And the results were just wow, immediate and seriously profound. They saw a 42% reduction in the time spent on documentation. Let that sink in. That meant each and every provider got 66 minutes back in their day. Every single day. That's over 5 hours a week that they could now spend on what actually matters, taking care of their patients. Okay, but of course, with this kind of incredible power and autonomy comes a whole new level of risk. We're not just talking about a program crashing here. When you give a system the ability to act on its own across your entire network, you have to get really serious about what happens when it gets something wrong. And this is the question that absolutely keeps security experts awake at night. See, in a world where all these agents are connected and relying on each other, one little mistake doesn't just stay put. It can spread. The real question is, how fast? Well, this is the danger of what's known as a cascading failure. It's like a domino effect. One bad decision can have this massive exponential impact. And get this, in some recent simulations, researchers found that just one compromised agent, just one, managed to poison 87% of all the downstream decisions in only 4 hours. That is a catastrophic failure, moving way faster than any human team could ever hope to get a handle on.
Okay, so we've seen the incredible potential and we've seen the pretty scary risks. So, what can you do? How do you even begin to explore this technology safely? Well, let's break down a simple, actionable plan you can follow to get started. The whole approach here is really simple. Start small and stay safe. So, step 1, define one clear, simple job for your agent. Don't try to boil the ocean. Step 2, pick a platform that's easy to use. There are a bunch of no-code or beginner-friendly tools out there. Step 3, test, and then test again. Do it in a safe space before you let it do more. And number 4, and this one is absolutely crucial, add guardrails. For anything high risk, like spending money or deleting files, make sure a human has to sign off on it. That's your ultimate safety net. And really, that brings us to the final big question. As we look towards 2026, the whole conversation is changing. It's no longer about what these agents can do. We know they're capable. The real question, the one we all have to answer, is about control. How are we going to build them? How are we going to manage them? And how do we stay in charge? Because this technology, it's not coming, it's already here. And every single company is going to have to figure out its answer.